And I think we are going. Howdy, how you going? Make sure that camera's in the right spot. Yeah. I just thought today I'd say howdy to everyone and play a little bit of either.io and if answer some questions if anyone's bored. Hello. I see people are coming in already. Howdy. Howdy. Mizuki, Lost in Ikea, sub for me for no reason. John Russell, Key and Kathleen. Oh, hey, Kathleen. Lauren. Hello, Rockstar. Hello, Please No Sub. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Unicorn. Hello, John. Hello, Dino. Okay, it's getting too fast. I can't do it anymore. Oh, hello, Fanta. Hello, Jacob. Hello, Sub. Hello, Ivania. Hello, Super Mario Star. Hello, Dark Cinia. I can't do it. It's too fast. But it's good to see you. Yes, and so I will do a couple of either.io while people drop in and say howdy. So, the first question today is, if you could do one every other year, would you rather live completely alone on an island or be overworked in a cramped factory? I think I would go insane on an island, so I'm going to say being overworked in a cramped factory, but it won't let me choose, so we're just going to skip over that one. Hey, wait a minute. Where's the next button? Ah! Oh, there it is. So, would you rather cut off your right hand or your left hand? I write with my left hand, but I throw with my right hand, so... I think it's one of those. I think it's going to be 50%. Oh, really? Huh. Actually, I feel like we did that question, didn't we? Let me just increase that window so I can see what we're doing. Does that still look okay? Yeah, cool. Would you rather spend a day in the Sahara Desert, or would you rather spend a day in the North Pole? I think I'd rather spend a day in the Sahara Desert, because I'm less likely to get frostbite there. Anyway, let's see what's on the dashboard. Have you ever heard of the anime Naruto? I certainly have, Ivania. I never really got into it. It was sort of in the Bleach category for me. It just got so ridiculously long, and I was a little too old at the time. I was kind of in my early 20s when it came out, and it's more for the teen audience, so never really got into it as much. Good choice, John. I would go Desert as well. If you didn't do YouTube, what would you be doing? Says Echo Fury. Well, originally I was working at a service station while studying psychology. I'm a third-year psychology student, and I got pretty good grades. I was a Golden Key student, 6s to 7s. So I'd probably be doing that, but honestly, I would much rather be in entertainment. So yeah, I'd probably be doing that. What are your favorite Pokemon, Strider? Mine's Vulpix. That's from Fanta. My favorite are a lot of the ghost Pokemon. My Pokemon party tends to consist of like Gengar, Misdreavus. Celebi is definitely one of my favorites, even though he's like the weakest legendary of all. I enjoyed fiddling around with Mimikyu in the recent game. Who do I normally have? I always have a Golbat. I love having a Golbat just because of its dark skills. It's able to use poison and that sort of thing, and its speed lets you sort of get off a really quick badly poison on your opponent, which is quite helpful. Raz always just totally destroys me at Pokemon, though, with his party. He's much better at good choices, Nintendo Network, Sylveon and Chespin. Hoopla, fan of any particular video game genres? I hate to say it, John Vincent, but I really am a bit of a casual nowadays. I was playing Cook Serve Delicious the other day, which is just one of those mindless Skinner box games, and I play a lot of Plants vs. Zombies too. Occasionally you'll see me on, I can't remember the name of it, one of those. It's like a cell game where you have to absorb things and it makes you bigger. And as well as The Sims 3 and 4. And not that I recommend them. EA just monetizes the crap out of them nowadays. You cannot bat an eyelid without them trying to sell you something. So I don't recommend it. Let's see. Yuki asks, what do you think of the Nostalgia Critic controversy? And hello, Anime Boy. Yes, I am back. Good to see you. With the controversy, yeah, it's kind of the elephant in the room, and what I wanted to mention, as I said in the comment description, it actually all happened 2 days before before the video was published. About 1 day, right before the video was public, and I was like, bad timing. And as someone says in the comments of the video, worst crossover timing, and It's I don't worship Doug like a lot of other people do. Like some of his followers are so just rabid, which is great. He's been doing it 10 years. You know, he deserves a strong following. But I was just disappointed. I've don't watch him as much nowadays, but I used to watch him off and on for 10 years, and like a lot of people, you know, he encouraged me to get started, and it was just so sad to see that, you know, he and Rob, people I'd really respected, would treat, you know, fellow co-workers that way. And I don't know what's right and what's wrong, but there's a lot of similar stories that say that is the case, and it's just sad because I don't care how stressed I get, I would never treat co-workers with some of the misconduct I read about, and I didn't read that much because I try and avoid this stuff because I don't like to get into YouTube melodrama. I feel it festers on YouTube like a bloody disease. I can't stand it, and all these people are jumping on the bandwagon to try and it's like vultures. They prey upon this negativity to try and boost their own channels, and it's just revolting. And if you can't be on here and respect what you're doing, what's the bloody point of being on here? Like, money isn't going to make you happy. Views aren't going to make you happy. You've got to respect what you're doing. And if you get all this melodrama, and I'm sorry, I went on a rant there, but it just, I just am so against the melodrama, and it is an issue, but it's none of my bloody business. It's certainly not my business. And yeah, so I do have an opinion on it. I just try and give you guys a respite from the negativity. That's more what my channel's about, not focusing on the negativity, but looking at some of the positives. And if there is some gossip or something, it's make-believe stuff, like Worst Simpsons, you know? We can all relate to things like the fair weather friend and that sort of thing, but we're not hurting anyone doing that. And I just think Doug retired recently. I think this actually caused him to retire because I didn't realize how big it was until I actually looked at the recent video, and I was like, whoa, because like half the likes were dislikes, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So that really surprised me. And then I saw in the comments that Doug was apparently finishing, and I was just like, wow, I did not expect to be possibly Doug's final collaboration. That really surprised me. I knew there was something in my gut telling me I just had to do this crossover, even if Creepiest Animated Movies wasn't the best topic for it. It wasn't like epic enough or that sort of thing. I was like, I've got to get dug in on this one. I just don't feel like I'll get another chance, and I may be right. I don't know. Nostalgia Critic may be back in the future. I don't know the full story, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Sorry to kind of rant on about it, but yeah, I had a lot of thoughts on it, and I was very disappointed and very sad, you know, and that's all you can be in response to something like that. It's just sad, you know. I hope I don't ever do that to you guys. You know, you discover that I'm secretly a terrible, terrible person or something, or any more terrible than I already am. Hopefully that'll never happen. You know, I'd hate for that to happen. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. If you got any questions on it, yeah, I'll let you know, but I try not to get too much into YouTube controversy. It's like a bloody disease on this platform. It's, I think, partially what's destroying YouTube. Yeah, oh, hey, Kentucky. I just had a feeling like streaming tonight. I just kind of felt like it. I was going to do a commentary, but then I was like, no, I kind of feel like just interacting with people. So, let's see. Mine, Ice Queen, is Aquarius. I'm Aquarius. Let's see. What do you think about? I'll just file through the ones I do understand. Let's see. Top 10 worst Loud House episodes, says Carlos. You know, to be honest, I was just never really into a Loud House. I know that sounds odd because it was on my best modern cartoons list, but I do respect it. It's one of those cartoons I say, jeez, this is what Nickelodeon needs, and it's done really well for them. I'm glad it took off. But yeah, I find it a little too cheesy, and it's going to sound weird, the reason, but the reason, I think, is because I find the idea of a large family a nightmare. It's just, I think 3 people feels like too many people in a family for me. I don't know if that's because I'm introverted or Asperger's or a bad history with family or that sort of thing, but I would just, oh my god, that would be a nightmare having 12 people in the family, even if they all love each other. It's just, oh, that's too many people. So yeah, that's just the way my brain sets off whenever I see Loud House. So it almost triggers me. So, but I think it's a fantastic cartoon. Bye-bye, sub for me, no reason. That's his name. I'm not telling you to sub me. Don't sub me. That's fine. Josh says 100 people in a family would suck. Yes. Yes, I think 5 is too many, too scary for me. But I'm weird like that. Some people think huge families are a wonderful thing. And I think, geez, it'd be nice to feel like that and not feel like a huge family is a horrible nightmare. What do I think about Sonic X? Asked Brandon Soden. I liked Sonic X okay. Obviously, Chris Thorndike makes it unpleasant and annoying at times. I was actually going to do worst Sonic cartoons, which Raz and I have been preparing for the last couple of months, just to do randomly doing the script. Kind of another of those side projects where we're no real rush in when we get it done, but we just want to do it. Let's see. Trying to make sure I miss no questions. So yeah, I kept trying to put something on the list from Sonic X in terms of worst Sonic cartoons, but the problem is they're all so average. There's nothing that stands out from them. It's like, it's not too bad to be interesting. It's not too good to be interesting. What's the worst Nickelodeon show ever? Fred the Show. Super Salad Bly says hi. Hello, Super Salad Bly. Do you know any Transformers characters? Sorry, YouTube Convoy, I never really got into Transformers. And the recent movies haven't helped that. Carlos Garcia says, do you mind if I like Fanboy and Chum Chum? Of course not, Carlos Garcia. Why would I mind that? If you can see artistic merit in it or just enjoy it, so good for you. Thank you, Mark. What are your thoughts on Batman the Animated Series? Says Aiden Rouse. Well, I thought I really enjoyed it. I started getting into it about a year ago, and it was one of those cartoons I'd watch while I was working out. I don't know why, but just while I was at the treadmill, I'd say, okay, let's just get through 3 episodes of Batman the Animated Series, and yeah, I liked the fact about it that it's another example of when you don't have to be that edgy and have death and destruction everywhere, and still, in order to be adult, they could actually be adult and still appeal to the kids as well. The Joker might make everyone laugh themselves silly into madness while he steals their stuff, and I mean, it did have some creepy stuff, but yeah, I really did enjoy Batman Animated. Let's see. What do you think about AVGN? Says Jeffrey's Mediatek. Yeah, I like James. He's one of my favorites, old favorites. I don't watch him as much as I used to, but the thing is that he's one of those guys that you just remember and I say, I respect this guy. I've actually started watching him a bit more recently. Him and Doug tend to get sort of lapped together a little bit, so his content tends to get recommended on Doug's channel. So yeah, I just happened to watch one of his videos recently. I was like, oh yeah, he's got a more of a calmer demeanor, and I've always related a bit to him in that it tends to just have that calmer demeanor off camera and stuff, and even on camera have a calm demeanor. But yeah, I really like him. He certainly earned his success. Good on him. Let's see. What is your favorite cartoon intro? One of them would be, that's from Matthew Powell, one of them would be Danny Phantom as terms of the catchiest. That's just the first thing that comes to mind. Probably because I've been doing Nickelodeon, looking at Nickelodeon recently. Also, does anyone have any recommendations for what they'd like to see next for commentaries? I was going to do a couple recently and chuck them on Patreon, and then I'll eventually release them to the public on YouTube. If you have any recommendations for something you'd like to see a commentary of, let me know. I'll probably do one of creepiest animated movies just to get the elephant out of the room, out of the way, because I have been asked a lot about my thoughts on the situation with Doug, and I'm trying to do it tastefully is all, and not just be a gossipy twit about it. Let's see, top 10 best. Well, that isn't one I've done yet. Relatable squads. Best Disney Channel shows. Yeah, sure, Sasuke. Okay. That's a LiveStrider one, and I don't tend to do them as often. But anyway, best Disney movies. Oh, okay. Did I not do Disney movies? I thought I did a commentary for that. Jeez, I should have done that by now. I loved that one. The favorite DBZ character is probably Goku. Yes, I would say Goku. Yeah, I mean, just the English dub Goku. As I said, he's one of my cartoon heroes. I felt the Japanese Goku is really dumb, and not like in a clever way where he's accepting of who he is, but kind of a zen in understanding his limitations, but also being quite noble. He's just sort of, I'm stupid and I like to fight. But that's just my opinion. A lot of people love the Japanese Goku, just not me. I'll do a couple of would you rather questions. So would you rather date someone who always looked 12, date someone who always looks 80? Either way, easy. Oh, come on, guys. Oh, that is creepy. Ew, ew, ew. 8% would rather date someone who looks 80, and 92% would rather date someone who looks 12. That is so disgusting and creepy. You would want to put yourself in jail. Like, what the hell is... Ew. Yuck. That is really yuck. I did not need to know 92% would rather date someone who looks 12. Ew. Ew. Oh, okay. Would you rather be telekinetic or telepathic? I'd rather be telekinetic. Oh, come on. We've seen this question. Is this really all the questions they have? Would you rather be bald Oh, come on. We've done this one. I would rather be bald. Well, no, wait. There's nothing wrong with being albino. Albino or bald is fine. Would you rather be Napoleon or Julius Caesar? I think Napoleon. I wouldn't have found it as interesting. Oh, Caesar lived quite well, though. He would have. I like that Napoleon would have been able to travel around a lot. Caesar's understandably the higher choice. Would you rather eat only human remains for the rest of your life or starve to death? Starve to death. Good God, that was depressingly dark. Would you rather be Dr. Zoidberg or Kif? We go with Zoidberg. I understand what it's like to smell bad all the time. Anyway, let's look at some questions. Et tu, Brute? Thank you, Christy. Oh, I'm sorry, there was a super chat. Hello from Jack Makes Art. Hey, Josh, how's it going? How's it going? The trailer for Has Been Hotel is out. Have you seen it, love or hate? Has Been Hotel. I'm just trying to see if I recognize it. Oh. I have no idea what this is. Oh, okay. Well, if there is a trailer for it, it doesn't really tell me much. It's just sort of cartoony, like it's half made, it's only half drawn and stuff. I thought it was like a movie or something. Sorry, I haven't actually seen that. Okay, we have a super chat from Zatsubo, who says, love heart. I love you too. Thank you very much, Zatsubo. And thank you as well to Jack Makes Art. I appreciate it. So let's double check the questions. Would you ever collab with Animat? No, Cooper Dude, I don't think I would. No, just wouldn't. I've got to kind of respect the person that I collab with, and yeah, that's like the most important part of the person I collab with normally has to show humility. It is the first priority I make, is that they have to have humility, and that can be kind of tough to find sometimes on YouTube. Not with everyone. There's a lot of kind people who put out good content who show a lot of humility, but sometimes it can be challenging, so you've got to choose kind of carefully who you collab with. For example, I'm going to do a collab with Alpha J, who's, well, I probably will. I'm 90% sure so far that we'll be able to do one, because I've chatted with him. He's a lovely guy. I like his content, very analytical. We'll probably do Best SpongeBob together. I'm not really sure whether to go Best SpongeBob or Weirdest SpongeBob, because I'd like to discuss both. And yeah, like Mizuki recognizes Alpha J, and so does Christy. Uh, yeah, I like his content. It's really analytical. Probably too analytical for my channel. We'll probably cut it down a bit, but he's a smart, kind guy. I've listened to some of his discussions, so I'm definitely okay with doing a collaboration with him. Thoughts on the channel? Awesome controversy. CD Telly. You may not have heard earlier. I was just saying I'm just disappointed and sad, but I also try not to engage in YouTube melodrama. So I just don't know what I can add to it. I don't feel I can add anything constructive. I'm sad. I was probably going to be one of the last collaborations Doug does, but that's the way it is. I personally would hope to never treat coworkers like that, and I don't know the full story, but that's just from what I've heard. Let's see. Do you like the Jurassic Park series? I do like a lot of Spielberg films, but Jurassic Park never really connected me. I was a bit too young for it at the time it came out. Alexis, I haven't heard of Diamond Bolt, sorry, but if he's awesome, that's cool. Thanks, Alexis. Yeah, and that's right. A Rainbow Streak, I'm just disappointed, like everyone's mother. Top 10 best cartoon characters. I feel it's so subjective, I'm not sure I could really do a list on it. So yeah, I might eventually, maybe for the 150th episode or something, if I actually get that far without going mad. I mean, I like to keep producing stuff, but the rumors going around I'm running out of ideas, and honestly, I've got tons of stuff I could still do, but I try to also do something that is going to be interesting to lots of people, and that's hard call sometimes. Also, in terms of what I'm making next, I know no one asked for it, but I'm doing Worst African Cartoons purely because I love going around the world. It's my thing. A lot of sort of doing cartoons from around the world. It's one of those other things that no one seems to have done in the cartoon community that I've seen. They do cartoon rip-offs of other countries or lookalikes, but I just like going around the world doing those. And, hopefully it lets me get in front of the camera a bit more and do a few more jokes and stuff and make it more my show, not just a commentary of other cartoons and stuff. So, yeah, I'll be doing that one soon. I did Worst German Cartoons Pizza Cam a little bit back. If you double check LiveStrider, this channel, you'll find it in the top lists. WorldStrider is a good name. Be right back, need to feed my cats. No worries, I like cats. Revenge of the Fallen or Insidious? I don't recognize that, sorry, Big Bang. The Loner says, do you like Family Guy or not? I've never really said that I did or didn't. I haven't? Well, I tend to like the older Family Guy. As a lot of you would probably know, I like a lot of the older Family Guy episodes, as I said in Best Family Guy. A lot of the modern episodes are just dull at this point. They're not even edgy. It's like watching a 15-year-old or a crappy YouTuber trying to be edgy. It's just sad and it's just boring and dull and stupid. A lot of those kind of the worst moments of modern Family Guy can be a little bit like that, and the more you watch it, the more you realize what a bore it is. Oh my god, just a second. Sorry. Okay, how do you recommend a review? From Darksind Maina? Well, you can just post a request when in the comment box I make at the start of each video, or you can go to the let's see, the list ideas page, which looks like this, and you can post an idea there. There's lots of options, or you can even put it on Twitter. I tend to be more active on Twitter because it's quite easy and quick for me to put in a comment. So if you ever do have a question or something like that, just send me a quick Twitter message, and there's a good chance I'm more active on there than Facebook or Instagram or that any of that. So yeah, I'll get back to people much quicker on that. Okie dokie dokie. Let's us do some Would You Rather. Would you rather, let's see, have stretchable legs or have stretchable arms? Finally, a question that isn't depressing. Let's have stretchable arms. I think stretchable legs might be handy, but I can just see you using stretchable arms more because you tend to have more of a quick control over your arms, and we tend to just use our arms for more than just walking. So, yeah. Excuse me. Would you rather be a wizard or be the King of England? Who wouldn't rather be a wizard? Who wouldn't? Oh, geez, what my voice going there? Who wouldn't rather be a wizard? Who wouldn't rather be a wizard? Yes, definitely a wizard. Would you rather live an average life and be forgotten in time or go down in history for something terrible? I'd rather be forgotten in time. I have no interest in being remembered. I don't care about being remembered in the slightest. It's never been something that interests me. Like, what is the point of being... I'm not going to go into that. That's just something that there's a disconnect in my brain. I don't understand the need to be remembered. Oh, yep, everyone's choosing wizard as well. Like, who wouldn't want to be a wizard? Do you like The Dark Knight, says Legend57. Yeah, I was a... Thank you, Fanta. You're a wizard, Strider. I was a big fan of The Dark Knight, as I said in my Cartoon Heroes video. Bruce Wayne was one of my biggest inspirations when I was growing up, and when I was having a rather difficult time in my teens, it was just a big inspiration to me about grief, about recovering from struggles, about just growing from your challenges, and about understanding the limitations of what we can do, about dealing with anger. There was just so much that The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, then The Dark Knight taught me. The Dark Knight Rises people have mixed opinions on, but I thought they ended it as best as they could. Who is your waifu? Says Alexis B. I don't have a wife. I'm not that lucky, but yes, there we go. I'm not. I don't have a waifu. What Star Wars movies do you rank from best to worst? Oh, that's a fair question, Jesus. Good name. I would rank. I'd say I'm gonna be alone in this opinion, but my favorite is The Last Jedi. I thought it was just such a great finish from Mark Hamill. Then Return of the Jedi. Then I would say Empire Strikes Back, New Hope. Then the first Star Wars Episode 1, and the second worst I would say would be Episode 2. And Revenge of the Sith I hate so much. That was just like the stupid... What makes it worse is it was trying to be edgy. It's just, I could not agree more with Plinkett on how garbage that movie is. And just everyone in the movie is stupid. Like everyone, like the entire council is looking at him, is looking at Palpatine, this dark man threatening a dictatorship, saying he's going to kill all the Jedi randomly for no reason. They're all like, oh, let's let him do it. Yeah, let's have years and years of darkness. Because why could you not trust that horrible, horrible monster face? And he doesn't even try to stay, like... He originally goes to the dark side, Anakin, in order to rescue Padme, but then chokes her, and then it's like, what was the point of that? Why did you go to the dark side? I thought you were trying to save her. And then he says, oh, you killed her, and he says, well, I guess I'll just stay on the dark side. Wasn't that your reason to go to the dark side? But the power was just so great that you didn't... Honestly, he didn't seem that much more powerful when he had the dark side on him. He actually seemed weaker because Obi-Wan beat the crap out of him as he deserved. Anyway, there is a super chat from Jack Makes Art. Hey, I know I already sent one, but I wanted to say how much I appreciate you. You've helped me through some really tough times, and I just can't thank you enough. Well, thank you, Jack. That really means a lot to me. The most important thing at the end of the day is that just knowing you can affect an individual. Whenever I receive bad feedback, I know I say that a lot, but whenever I receive just something that really hurts me, I'll just say, think about the individuals. You can't be perfect. It's just a silly job at the end of the day, what I do. But if you can affect one person and make their lives a little bit better, that's just, God, that makes me tickle. That's what it's all about to me. And I just think, wow, that's what I'll remember, views, money, none of that. It's just the fact that you can affect someone's life is just such an amazing thing. And we're all very lucky to live in that age. Even if you're talking to 100 people or 10 people, the fact that you can individually affect one person, it's just a whopping amazing thing that we can do in this age, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Jack Makes Art. Imagine you make very nice art. Thank you. Connor Johnson. There's this extremely beautiful animated movie from France called The Red Turtle. I cannot recommend it enough. I'm going to quickly look at it up. Connor Johnson. Red Turtle? Red Turtle. And I will tell you what it is. It's the Red Turtle official oh my god, it's Studio Ghibli. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, thank you for letting me know about this, Connor. Yeah, I love Studio Ghibli movies. It's basically like one of the best, if not the best anime studio in the world. Certainly to me. What's your opinion about Venom from Spider-Man 3? Asks Lena Reacts. I'm one of the few people in the world, sorry, bug, that I had to kill him. Fruit fly problem in Australia right now. Venom from Spider-Man 3, I just thought, I had no real particular thoughts on him, but I didn't love Spider-Man 3, but I didn't hate it as much as everyone else. I saw it and I was just like, this is okay. This is just as cheesy as I would expect Spider-Man to be. Like, of course he's gonna go goth and dark, and as you've seen, I like seeing the dark side of people and that sort of slightly over-the-top thing where, I loved particularly the quote from the trailer, which is "the greatest battle is within," and that's a really neat concept. And I like that for once, Mary Jane is not just fawning over Spider-Man, Peter Parker. They're actually running into relationship problems where both of them need each other, and it feels realistic, more realistic than the first two. And it was cheesy and silly, but I liked it. There were a lot of parts I liked it. Why do I love The Last Jedi? Asks Yuya Sakaki. Let's see. Well, there was so much about it I liked. It was one of the few movies I sat down on and said, whoa, I've got to see this twice. And I went and saw it again. There are continuity errors I didn't like issues with how they kept catching up with the ship and how they kept outrunning the ship, how they got away from the ship. And there's a ton of continuity problems people tend to point out, but just scenes like where we're watching, some of the best parts of the movie is just watching Luke train the new Jedi, train Rey, and just what she kind of goes through that. I love the scene where Kylo Ren and Rey just finish off the Emperor. I just thought, wow, that's fantastic. And I loved how quick it was. We didn't have to wait for like 5 movies to see it. I found the horse racing stuff a bit of a bore. The casino is meh. But just the fact that we got a relatability to Kylo Ren, we're no longer looking at him as just a black and white dark side bad guy. It's doing what the Knights of the Old Republic did. It is making the idea of a grey Jedi possible. The idea that morality is not just right and wrong, good and bad. And we're learning more about Kylo Ren because of this. He's now a really interesting character. He's not just a black and white bad guy trying to be the next Darth Vader. And scenes like the showdown where we get to watch Luke come out, and I love the scene where they're just like, fire everything you have at him, and they just shoot the crap out of it. They keep going, and he just finishes like, ha, that didn't hurt much because I'm a Jedi. And it's actually because he's a obviously because he's a hologram, and spoilers alert if you haven't somehow seen it yet. But it was a great finish. Even beautiful things, like just how Luke disappears, how he finishes. That felt so real, so satisfying to see how Luke disappears. A part of me would have liked to see him come back and actually face the crew, actually give his sister Leia a hug and see them again, but that was the way it had to happen, I guess. But that was the best, in the way it happened, I thought that was the best way they could have finished it. Guthro Taylor Johnson says, do you ever think you might be getting too old to review kids' cartoons? I think I was too old when I started, so I don't think I'm getting any older. I don't think 27 or 25 is that much of an older thing to be reviewing cartoons at 30. It's about if you enjoy it or not. It's not about what age is right or wrong to look at and enjoy a cartoon. It's just about enjoying it, and I still get a lot of joys and thrills from being able to recommend good cartoons to people of all ages, you know, just what I enjoy. If I ever think I'm too old for it and get bored of it, then I'll let you know, and I guess the channel will disappear. Is the banana the source of Darkstrider's power, says Fanta. I don't know if Darkstrider eats bananas. I like bananas. Yes, my one question was answered, says Guthro. What is it? Did Disney ruin Doug? I don't know. Do you mean like You mean the old wasn't that Nickelodeon? I don't know what happened there. Let's see. I'm gonna answer some would you rather questions, and I'll probably finish off pretty soon. Let's see. Would you rather be a hometown hero or be a sea-level celebrity no one really likes? Well, I'm probably B- celebrity. I don't really mind that. That's fine. Works fine for me. Would you rather be star in Saved by the Bell or star in Boy Meets World? I don't know either of those movies, but I think I vaguely know Boy Meets World. Would you rather have a Pepsi or a Coke? This is the great question. Pepsi or Coke? What do you think? Would you rather have a Pepsi or a Coke? I'm going to go with Pepsi. Pepsi or Coke? Oh, come on, guys. Tell me, Pepsi or Coke? Both? Says Mizuki. Ashley's my favorite fan. Yeah, okay. So Pepsi, Dr. Pepper. Oh, good choice. Well, that's true. You know, some people say neither, and it's like, yeah, sometimes it tastes like battery acid. Whoa, I had no idea so many people were Pepsi. Because, yeah, I actually prefer Pepsi myself. I always have. But Coke has just dominated the market aggressively. So let's see what everyone else would like to have. Oh, everyone wants to have a Coke. I like Pepsi. I guess we're all Pepsi people. The Pepsi community comes together. Geez, I should have asked for a sponsorship from Pepsi for this live stream. I think, would you rather go to heaven or hell or be reborn into a better or worse life? I think I'd rather get it over with and just go to heaven or hell. And like, again, another depressing question, but what would you rather do? Better or worse life or heaven or hell? I'm curious if people have opinion on that. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, heaven or hell? Or would you rather go into be reborn into a worse life or better life? Yeah, that's fair, Christy. I agree. Thank you, busy loner girl. I appreciate it. No one's really commented on heaven. Oh, they'd take either. I guess, yeah. Better or worse life, it doesn't matter. I'll make it through. Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing. Rather than repeating the cycle forever, you kind of just like, I'd rather just, as stupid a concept as I think the afterlife is, given that they're all human concepts, that we're basing all things on human morality when we have our brains basically chosen at birth, and how they develop is based on our circumstances. How the hell can you even get the concept of blame on a higher level for that? We need to make some standards, but I think there are mostly victims in life. To a certain degree with psychopaths as well, because they're born with that inability to have empathy. Anyway, on to that. What are your thoughts on these YouTube kids cartoons? So you mean like, Matthew Hull asked that, you mean like those cartoons that are like just visually kind of cheapish CG, but get millions of views because I guess the parents have them on repeat for their 3-year-olds. I talk about them quite a bit when I talk about cartoons around the world, and I've got another one from Africa that's done quite well. It's more in the 500,000 per video category, so it does very well. But excuse me. Yeah, I've no real thoughts on that. I don't think they do kids any harm. I certainly don't think they challenge them, though. Let's see. You deserve your... Oh, thank you very much, Keith. Atheists are among us. It's me and you, Strider. And I hate that attitude, Mr. Doorbell, to be honest. Like, it's not... Like, it's fine to be what you are. I just think if we're just saying, oh, I'm this proudly, or I'm that proudly, you are what you are, you know? If that's your belief, good for you, you know? I don't like when we all kind of band together in groups and try and separate from one another, because that tends to be what causes problems and wars. It's like freaking Dawkins, you know, makes people not want to call themselves atheists. Everyone calls themselves agnostic because no one wants to be as obnoxious as freaking Dawkins and so pushy about his beliefs. If someone wants to believe in an afterlife and, you know, that people, like, a greater power actually judges their morality, good for them, you know? I envy them, like, that you can believe that. That'd just be lovely. Because it actually gives a purpose. While I don't think it's the answer, and as long as they don't push their beliefs, and I guess that's a thing. It's it all comes down to whatever we believe in, whether we push our beliefs on others or not. So yeah, can you do the best? Well, even if it was a joke, a doorbell, it made it for an interesting concept. So I appreciate you talking about it. Let's see. So I will do another. Would you rather? In any given situation, would you rather be the first to die or the last to die? I don't... That's so vague. It depends on who it is, what it is. Am I dying in order... Normally, when we say we're going to die for something, it has to be for a pretty important reason, like for saving family or friends or something. That I don't even know how to answer that, and I don't want to know what people answer that, because like there is no subject matter to it of why are we dying for this particular reason. I'll die early if it means I can save others, but you know, I'm not probably out of my self-preservation. I'm probably not going to want to die sooner than that. I don't know. Very odd question. Would you rather be trapped in a sandstorm or be trapped in a snowstorm? I think in a snowstorm you're more likely to freeze to death. I wouldn't much care for a sandstorm either, but yeah, I'd say a sandstorm. Would you rather live to be 120 and accomplish nothing notable, live to be 50 and be well known for world-changing accomplishments? I bet you everyone chooses the right one. Like, what? That's what it's all about, is about making a difference and changing and feeling your life is meaningful. Besides, nothing wrong with 50. 50 is a ripe old age, even compared to 100, 200 years ago, you know? Would you rather have your stomach pulled out of your mouth? That sounds lovely, doesn't it? Would you like your stomach pulled out of your mouth? Or have your brain pulled out of your eye socket? Well, you know, I'm going to go with the stomach out of my mouth this time. I mean, neither sound great, but, you know... At least I can watch my guts unravel, then at least my brain can process that. Geez, that was depressing, sorry. Let's try and find a positive question before I finish up. Would you rather have the best dream and the worst nightmare come true, never have any of your dreams come true? Well, I'll make my own dreams and things come to fruition. I don't need to dream something. Because the worst nightmare coming true would probably override any of my dreams. I can... Oh, the... bad nightmares I've had, so I wouldn't want that. Alright, would you rather... But why would you want your brain to process that? Well, that's a fair question, Rainbow Streak. I don't know, I just would not want my brain touched. That's a fair question. I'm your Pikachu by your side. Well, thank you, Pikachu G. I never really trained a Pikachu much in my party, but I do like them. We look more Sineaster than normal. I don't know why that's what everyone remembers specifically. There was so many spelling errors in those creepypastas, but everyone always remembers Sineaster. I would say one of my favorites, Malhean, would also be Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit would definitely be one of my favorites because it's even the biggest sourpuss. I think Doug said this as well. Even the biggest sourpusses seem to enjoy the movie because it's got that kind of cynicism of adulthood that comes when you see cartoons, but also that positivity of what cartoons can bring all of us and the energy it can bring all of us. So I think it's one of the best examples of that. And I was so sad to hear the actor passed away recently who was in that. But yeah, definitely a big favorite of mine as well. I would say I hate Eric Cartman more, Cavion, a lot more. Angelica, she's just a kid. I tend to kind of over-exaggerate how much I dislike her, but she never tried to cause mass murder or genocide or death or destroy everything that her friends believed in. Like, she bullied babies. So definitely Eric Cartman. Let's see. Sorry, I was looking at Fanta's question. Look behind you. Yes, rest in peace, Rob Hoskins. Let's see. So, I would gladly pick a baseball bat to Eric Cartman. Fair enough, Christy. Fair enough. I can understand that feeling. I probably won't watch Addicted to MC Dragon Ball Super anytime soon. Yeah, I haven't really gotten into it. Maybe if I see the English dub, it will be. But again, as I've said to you before, like one of my biggest complaints is that I liked GT. I'm one of the few people that actually liked GT. I mean, before episode 32 to 64, it drags a bit and it is a bit silly, but it's more Dragon Ball style. It's crossing around the galaxy looking for Dragon Balls, similar to Dragon Ball style. Then it goes to Dragon Ball Z style. Then it goes to, in the middle when they start to fight Baby. And then it goes to Dragon Ball Z and GT style. At the end, where they go looking for the Black Star Dragons, the dragons. So let's see. Favorite modern day cartoon? Spotlight. Modern day cartoon. Gee, that's a tough one. Of the ones that have affected me the most in the past 3 years, I'm going to be honest. I was really affected by Legend of Korra Season 3 and 4. I was going through a pretty bad depressive episode last year, and I would actually say that Korra helped me through it a little bit. It was just really made a big difference to me. So, like, just the way she kind of worked through acceptance commitment therapy, and I've never seen a cartoon talk about that before. It was just incredible. About accepting your fear and emotions you feel and allowing them to play out and not staying in that place. I can't stress that enough. Don't stay in that area. Don't stay in that mindset, but allow it and allow it to pass. And I thought that is so bloody sophisticated for people who go through post-traumatic stress disorder and all these other things that I just thought, and just, I like the characters, and I like that every character is relatable, and every character kind of has a story, except for Season 2. That was garbage, absolute garbage. The character, the enemy in that, turning into the great... it was just very cheesy, Series 2, but Season 3 and 4 were just really, really strong. Season 4, one of the best seasons I've seen of any cartoon. Favorite South Park character? Asked Ashley. Probably Butters. Yeah, I'd say Butters. So I really like Stan as well, and Wendy. Wendy's really cool as well, actually. And I also like Captain Diabetes. He's really cool. That was pretty much my party, as you probably saw. Anyway, I will finish up soon, my friends. I'll just quickly answer a couple of quick more would you rathers, and I think we'll finish up. But thank you for everyone tuning in. Would you rather be able to pop all your pimples at once? Well, that sounds like a good skill to have. Or be able to crack all your joints at once? I never like to crack my joints. Like, and when you hear someone crack their joints, like, ugh, that can't be good for them. I don't know if it leads to osteoporosis. I would love to see if there are any clinical studies on whether cracking joints leads to long-term osteoporosis. Would you rather be horribly and hopelessly depressed or have inescapable, overwhelming anxiety? It's funny. I was talking to a friend the other night about this. Which is worse, depression or anxiety? And I'd say they're both really awful. Depression's an odd thing because it makes the body that wants to live the mind wants to destroy itself, the body that wants to live. And it's funny, no matter what your fear might be when you have depression, even if the fear is losing your life, your mind will eventually want to lose its life. It's so weird, depression, and it's such a weird cycle because that serotonin is gone. Like, that serotonin is so out of balance, and whatever other brain chemicals are going, that you can't feel happiness or sadness, and it's the most horrible, horrible state to be in. Once you've experienced it, you say, yes, this is real. It's not just being sad all the time, it's feeling nothing. And I just can't imagine anything worse than that. It's hard to imagine. Or having inescapable, overwhelming anxiety. I think this depends what level of anxiety they're talking about. I'm already quite obsessive compulsive and tend to wash my hands too much. I tend to double check the locks too many times. I already have some of those symptoms which kind of go hand in hand with Asperger's. But it depends how inescapable the anxiety is, because I will probably always be obsessive compulsive, so my anxiety is inescapable. I get anxious about work and life and friends and people and everything else you can possibly get anxious about. Like when I meditate every day to try and escape or at least have a respite from that anxiety. So I would say probably anxiety, because I've dealt with heavy anxiety more in my life, pretty much my whole life, and depression, once you get it, you're like, oh, I never want to go back here again. But let's end on a more positive question, shall we? Would you rather be killed in a Saw movie or be killed in a Final Destination movie? I think we've got this question before, and I would say Final Destination because it would be I'm not even going to go into that. It's too miserable. Jeez, let's try and have a positive question. Would you rather chunk a pint of ocean salt water or chug a pint of rancid milk? Well, I think the salt water would be more likely to send you insane. I think the rancid milk would just make you vomit. So I'm going to go with the rancid milk. Would you rather live in a giant shoe or a giant peach? We have had this question before, and I'm going to change to I'd rather live in a giant shoe, because a giant peach is biodegradable, so that would likely be annoying. So, let's see. Saw, please. Sorry about all these depressing questions. I should probably find another sort of set of questions or something that are less, like, miserable. But I guess that's interesting when you get those. You discover a lot about the person when you ask such odd questions, I suppose. Oh, okay, yeah, salt water. Yeah, a lot of people chose salt water. Well, I think we'll finish up there. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. I'm sorry if I missed your question. I tried to get through as many as I could, but I really appreciate you tuning in to say hello. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Now I need to find if I can hit the stop stream button, and there we go.